Okay, so let's talk business plans. But forget those 100-page monsters that just end up gathering dust, right? Today, we're going to unlock a really cool tool that puts your entire business strategy on a single sheet of paper. Yep, just one. Let's dive into the business model canvas.
Seriously, have you ever tried to write a traditional business plan? Come on, you know the one I'm talking about. It feels less like a strategic guide and more like you're writing a novel that absolutely nobody, not even you, is ever going to read again.
Exactly. They're so long, they're static, and honestly, they're probably outdated the second the ink is dry. In a world that moves as fast as ours does, that old school approach just doesn't cut it anymore.
So what if there was a better way? A blueprint that's actually dynamic, something you can collaborate on, and get this, it fits on a single page. Well, guess what? There is.
And this, right here, is it, the business model canvas. The best way to think about it is like a strategic map for your business, all on one page. It's this super powerful tool that lets you see, talk about, and even reinvent your business model in a really simple, structured way.
So where did this genius idea come from? Well, it was developed by two strategists, Alexander Osterwalder and Yves Pigneur. And their goal was pretty simple, really. They wanted to create an intuitive tool to replace those massive, clunky business plans and, spark some more innovative thinking.
Okay, so how does this whole thing work? Well, the canvas is built on 9 essential building blocks. And these blocks cover the 4 main areas of pretty much any business: your customers, what you're offering them, your infrastructure, and of course, your finances. Let's break them down.
All right, first up, and this is arguably the most important one, customer segments. Who are you actually creating value for? You got to be specific here. Are you aiming for a mass market, like say a soda company? Or are you focused on a super niche market, like a shop that only sells high-end racing bikes? Everything, and I mean everything, flows from knowing who your customer is.
Okay, so you know who you're talking to. Now, what problem are you solving for them? That, my friends, is your value proposition. It's that unique blend of products and services, that special something that makes them choose you over all the competition.
So, you've got your customers, you've got your awesome value proposition, but how do you actually connect with them? How do you get your product into their hands? That's what channels are all about. These are all the touch points where you interact with your customers, whether it's your website, an app, or a good old-fashioned physical store.
And speaking of interacting, what kind of relationship do you want to have with those customers? Is it going to be deeply personal with dedicated support? Or is it going to be completely automated, like a self-service model? This is your customer relationship. It's all about how you get, keep, and grow your customer base over time.
And now for the part everyone's waiting for, right? The money. This is a big one. Revenue streams. Plain and simple, how does the cash come in? This block spells out how your company generates income from each customer segment. Is it from one-time sales, subscriptions, maybe licensing fees? You gotta know. Okay, let's pull back the curtain and move to the backstage of your business. Here, we have key activities. These are the absolute most important things your company has to do to operate successfully. Think of them as the crucial steps that make everything else possible, like manufacturing a product, running a killer marketing campaign, or developing your software. And of course, to do all those activities, you're going to need stuff, right? Those are your key resources. These are the critical assets that make your whole business model work. This could be anything: physical things like factories, intellectual property like patents, your amazing team of people, or even cold hard cash. You know the saying, no business is an island? And it's so true. That's where key partnerships come in. This block describes that whole network of suppliers and partners that really make the business model tick. Companies build these partnerships to optimize things, reduce risk, or maybe even get access to resources they don't have. And finally, when you add up all those activities, resources, and partnerships, well, they cost money. That brings us to the final block, your cost structure. This is where you outlined all the expenses involved in running your business. It's what helps you figure out if your model is actually financially sustainable in the long run. So there you have it, the 9 building blocks. But here's the thing, the real magic of the canvas isn't just looking at these pieces one by one. No. The real power is in how they all connect and fit together to tell the complete story of your business.
And what's so fascinating is that it's not just a random jumble of boxes on a page. The canvas is actually logically split right down the middle, and it tells 2 very distinct parts of your business's story.
Check this out. The whole right side of the canvas,
That's all about your customer. It's focused on creating value, the emotional side, you could say. And the left side? That's all about the business itself, the infrastructure, the efficiency, everything you need to deliver that value. It's like the perfect balance between the heart and the head of your company.
And really, that's the whole point. On one single page, you get this complete bird's-eye view of your entire business. This makes it so much easier to see how everything connects, to spot potential weaknesses, and to start playing around with new ideas without getting lost in the weeds.
So, why does this thing work so well? Well, first off, it's super visual, which makes really complex ideas way easier to understand. Second, it's a comprehensive framework, so you're not going to forget any of the crucial pieces of the puzzle. And finally, it's so flexible. You can use it for a tiny startup idea you just had, or for a giant global corporation. And the best part, you can change it in seconds with just a couple of sticky notes.
Ultimately, what the Canvas does is give your entire team a shared language. Suddenly, everyone can talk about how you create, deliver, and capture value in the same way. It truly paves the way for a cohesive, strategic approach to planning your business.
So, whether you're sketching out a brand new venture on a napkin or taking a hard look at a business you've run for years, the Canvas helps turn those abstract ideas into a concrete plan. It's a tool for clarity, for communication, and for real innovation. Which really just leaves one question for you. What story is your one page gonna tell?